All right, in this video about Agency Zoom, we're going to talk about how you can communicate back and forth with team members inside of the Agency Zoom's features that are already existing without having to use things like Teams or Slack. We see a lot of agencies using Teams or Slack to talk back and forth about a customer, maybe a particular claim, a quote, a renewal. You know, they're conversing about the same client and they're doing it in a Slack channel or a Teams channel or a Google Chat channel or something else like that is all chronological and not attached to the customer's profile. So I'm going to show you how you can get that same functionality, but much better already within Agency Zoom, and it's all built in. So the first thing you're going to have to do is make sure that your administrator has gone into the system settings here and actually turned on under notifications the note mention notification and the note reply notification. So you want to have this turned on, and that way you are going to get these pop-ups and these notifications I'm going to show you here. All right, so we're going to go into a customer. I've got two different Agency Zoom accounts open that represent like two different team members. So team member number one on the left, which is the profile is named Mariah, and the profile on the right is named Riley. So that's the other team member. So we're going to go into this customer here, Jack Dawson, and we're going to go into the activities. Mariah talked to Jack about his boat sinking, and he had asked about his deductible. Okay, so that's this example. Now, both of these team members are doing other things. In this example, we're going to say Riley picks up the phone and Jack calls in and has a question about the claim. So Riley opens up the account. Riley can see that Mariah made a note in here about this, but she doesn't see maybe a service ticket that was entered for a claim or any note about a claim. So she's not really sure if one was entered or what the decision was. So Jack is calling and saying, where is my claim? My boat is damaged. I haven't heard from anybody. What am I supposed to do? So normally Riley would, of course, ask Mariah, like, hey, what's going on with this? That person, that staff member may or may not be available. But instead, inside of Agency Zoom, what we can do, instead of using Teams or picking up the phone or walking across the office or shouting across the office, which we've seen in a lot of agencies, is we can actually reply to the comment here, Riley can, and tag Mariah and say, did he file a claim with you? He thinks he did. Okay, so this is just like what we would do in Teams or Slack. We're tagging the person, or instead of having a channel with that one person, we're tagging them. We're going to click Save Note, and over here in Mariah's account, you can see I just received a pop-up in this account, and it says, did he file a claim with you? Now, if I'm able to click on this right now and work on it and reply, it's going to take me straight to the account or to the lead that it's associated with, wherever this note was made, and I can then take a look at this note from Riley. I can see Riley made the note and when, and I'm tagged, and I can reply back, and I can tag Riley. Now I can do it with the @ symbol on my keyboard, or I can also click right here, either one. It does the same thing. And I can reply back to Riley and say, no, he didn't. He was upset about the deductible amount and said he would call back, but we didn't file a claim. And then I can click Save Note. Now Riley is going to get the pop-up over here on her Agency Zoom at her desk, wherever she is. And she can see that communication pop up right here. So this is great because we could say, hey, Jack, let me check with Mariah. Let me see if I can get her available. And you're already working in Agency Zoom all day long anyways, and you're going to see that pop up. And if you can answer it real quick, great. Now, what if you can't answer it real quick? What if Riley has to say, you know what, Jack, I can't reach Mariah, or she's in an appointment or talking to another client. I will find out and I'll get back to you. So for Mariah, on that profile for that team member, under the notifications right here, if I had not clicked on that notice, so I'm going to go ahead and do another one just for demonstration purposes. I need to talk to you about this. I'm going to click save. Okay, so now that I didn't open these ones here under my notifications, I'm going to have this saved as my history. So if I was dealing with another client, I come back, I open my notifications, and I can see, oh, Riley needs to talk to me. I can now open this whenever I'm available. So the nice thing about this is that the conversation is not happening in Teams or Slack, where it is not attached to the history of the client. That's a really big deal, because if you have that conversation in Teams and then 3 months later, there is a problem with the claim, or that same topic comes back up, you're going to have to go look through Teams or Slack, that chronological history, to find where this conversation happened. But if you have it straight inside the notepad and you're tagging each other back and forth, you get the notifications, you get the ability to view all your notifications and go back on anything that maybe you clicked on, but you want to go back and see the history of, and maybe you needed to continue to work on it. but you also have it all synced. That entire conversation happens inside the history of the customer, and you can go back and review it at any time. So it's saved within their account instead of a generic Teams conversation. So this is a very underutilized part of Agency Zoom, but it is huge for inter-office team communication, and I highly recommend using it. You cannot use it in a task. So if you did have a task open, you can't tag right here inside of an open task. So do keep that in mind. It is in your note section. Now I jumped over to the Service Center as well. We were looking at customers. I'm going to do a Service Center example. If I open this one up, same thing. You can't do it in a task or even in the description of the ticket. You need to do that in a note. So that's where your @ feature is going to be, where you can tag people back and forth, and you're going to have the same functionality inside of your leads. So if we go to the lead section of Agency Zoom and open that up and do a note here, we also have that tagging capacity. So you can do a tagged note and communicate back and forth with your team about your customers, prospects, service tickets, all of this, and not have to use Teams or Slack or an outside system that is not nearly as organized. I hope this helps you with your agency efficiency. Agency Zoom is full of amazing tools like this. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel to see more videos like this. And if you need help maximizing your Agency Zoom, reach out. We do implementation, integration, training, and everything under the sun related to Agency Zoom.